Hi everyone, hope you are doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, our video today has a lot of background noise, so I apologize to you as early as this. Just bear with me as we go through the today analysis. Now, Kenyans have been listening to the Supreme Court case between railaodinga, William Samoei Ruto, and even IBC. They have been a part of this case. And railaodinga was the complainant. So, after listening to this case to the end, yesterday, the judges got to listen the last day to both sides, William Ruto and railaodinga side, and even the IBC side. And the judges have retired to go and write their verdict, which might come on Monday. The biggest problem that railaodinga side was facing in this case was the burden of proof to the evidence that they had presented before the Supreme Court. So after going all these things, I have seen railaodinga receiving all of his lawyers. Railaodinga was in high spirits, so joyful and so happy. He is optimistic, together with the Mother Karua, as they wait way forward from the Supreme Court judges. So before we go deeper into the evidence presented at the Supreme Court, I want you to shortly watch railaodinga receiving his lawyers, so joyful, with a lot of positivity.
Give me a moment. As we spoke. Good. Welcome.
Let's talk.
It's so good.
One more to go back. We need a bulletproof vest for her.
We insist.
Now, as the Supreme Court judges retire to write their verdict, there are 9 issues of determination in the presidential petition. There were 9 and they reduced it to about 7. So those are the issue, and for those who remember, in one of our past videos, we highlighted all of those 9 issues of determination in this case. You can refer to our video. So in as much they are retiring to write the verdict, that is what they are going to base on as they write down their ruling in this case. So Raila had a number of evidence that he presented before the court. But the biggest bombshell, which caught the William Ruto and the IBC side unaware, is what Paul Mwangi and Julia Soweto presented through demonstration to the Supreme Court. We have had the issue of Bungoma County in a primary school, a polling station. The same thing that happened in Nyeri town constituency in one of the primary school as a polling station. And if you watch how Julia Soweto demonstrated to show out how even some of the foreigners in this country who were arrested and deported found themselves on IBC Mactigos Form 34A. It was a huge bombshell which has caused confusion, panic, and disorder in Kenya, Kwanza. She went further even to demonstrate how the IBC rubber stamp was on a top of another stamp. The issue of changing figures in those areas I mentioned, the primary school in Bungoma, Chasikaki Primary School, we have another one in Gashage Primary School. all these issues are a good evidence. So I want you to shortly listen to Julia Soweto as she demonstrated this one before the court. Then after this, we are going to continue with this conversation.
This is the IBC's own document. We're asking that you open on your own devices, but even as we show, Murang'a County. Kangema, Muguru, and Gasharaigo, Primary School 02. This is live. My lords and my ladies, we have downloaded a Form 34A from the IBC portal. And I'd like the court to just scrutinize this form before we go to other details. From where I am, the stamp. The stamp. My lords and my ladies, is that the IEBC stamp? It's on the IBC portal, looking like it's been superimposed over another stamp. We have been asked to show how are the figures changed. The votes. Now, my lords and my ladies, if we look at the votes cast, the first figure on the form is for Railaodinga, 55. It's followed by William Ruto, 260. It's followed by, I think that's Mwaure Waiga, 001. And the last is Wajakoya, 000. If we sum up the total votes, we get 316. The total votes cast according to this particular form is 321, different from what we have just seen. The rejected votes are 4, which means already by calculation there is a problem. But we'd like the court to look at the total number of registered voters. A close scrutiny of the form shows that the number was probably 455, and the 5 is actually similar to the figures written in the votes cast. But somebody or somehow that figure has been changed to make it look like 488. It is obvious to the naked eye when you look at that form. Now, when we go to now the bombshell itself, the top left-hand corner of the form, we were told by my colleague, Mr. Gumbo, there were no foreigners in this election. We were told the foreigners left before the 8th of August. We were told they did not even have access to maintain the server. This is on the 9th of August, and at the top left-hand corner there is the name of one of the Venezuelans, Jose Camargo. This is the person who decided the president-elect of the country. It is on the IEBC portal. It is live. how did that come there? What are you doing? This person is the one who was interfering with the forms. We are able to demonstrate, at least a crumb was left. By God's grace, we found something. We didn't make this up. We were told we forged these documents. Now, this is how, my lords, the staging was happening. This is how the changes were happening. This is.
Now we are continuing with the final discussion, but just a quick request. You might be watching this channel, but you're not yet subscribed. So my humble request, please consider subscribing so that another time, once we release a video like this one, you will always get notified. Again, to all our channel subscribers and anyone who comment, I must say thank you so much for your unconditional support. Then I'm requesting you to give this video a thumbs up so that YouTube can recommend our videos to more viewers. Back to our discussion. Now, after this presentation, many Kenyans have been made to believe that William Ruto was made president by Venezuelans, not through the ballot. No any Kenyan made William Samoei Ruto the president-elect. That is what Kenyans are buying into when the name of Joy Kamagor comes in their mind, what they have seen on IBC paper. You are filling form 34A, then when you are taking photo, another piece of paper with the Venezuelan citizen appears on that form. And for those who remember, a few days ago to election, there were 3 Venezuelans who were arrested at JKIA, and Joy Kamagor was among them. Later, these Venezuelans were found with the IBC materials in their personal belonging luggage. Remember, these are mathematics stuff, but they are being found with the IBC material. We understand how the story went on until when they were deported from this country back to Venezuela. And Murgoro talked about Kamagor appearing in the IBC logs before election, for those who listen to Murgoro presentation. Now, beside this, the DCI did a forensic report on IBC servers, and they came out publicly to tell Kenyans that there were about 21 persons that had IBC credential logs in. And out of this 21, Kamaro Joy is among these people. Remember, this is as mathematics stuff. The question is, what is the link between his mathematics stuff having access to the RTS? That is the question. So, linking on how the IBC Form 34A was tampered with, Soweto went further to explain how 11,000 Form 34A had same Kimskit ID. Look at that. And she gave a number of examples. Of course, because of time, she could not mention all of them. Like, for example, if you read the numbers she was giving, like F2 30450 M00204 date 2020 August 9th. Another one, now time 1956, that is Bungoma, Mount Elgon, Chesire, Chesikaki. Another one is Pogoyo Primary School, F2 30 450 M002 4133, date 2022 August 9th. time 23:49. Nyeri Town, Gatitu, Muranga, Duguma Primary School. That is stream 01. The examples are so many. So going with that, you find that Azimio side has a serious case, and they have evidently shown how these forms were tampered with. And remember, the question that judges are asking during this time is if Form 34A was tampered with when they were transmitting the result. So the answer to this is yes, these forms were tampered with. And they are talking about 11,000 Forms 34A. So you can imagine what result this Form 34A is holding. If you multiply by 11, if you assume it is about maybe 300,000 people who voted, 200,000 in totality, and the people tampered with this with a determined result that they had already have in their hands. So they were working, coming backwards. The same company involved in the election in Philippines. We also did a video here, and we demonstrated how they tampered with the result in Philippines. So if you try to link, you will find that again in Philippines, it was the same mathematics staffs, some of the staff who were found guilty by tampering with the presidential result in Philippines. So this is the same game that again has happened in Kenya. What happened in Philippines has again repeated in Kenya. So you get to find out the reason why William Ruto was doing well in Mount Kenya, and how he performed better in parts of Bungoma and Trans Nzoia. The Kim's kit ID was supposed to be different because we are using different Kim's kit here, and Bungoma and Nyeri, if you try to check, Wanatuambia is about 400 kilometers away. So how do you use the same Kim's kit within a period of 3 hours? How possible is that? So it tells you that someone was sitting somewhere determined to stream in results against the wish of Kenyans. So we are going to wait and see what the judges will come out with, whether they will rule in favor of railaodinga or not. But at least even Kenyans have got to understand what went through, what transpired through during the election. So I'm seeing the UDS side, they're trying to share out some of the figures, some of these forms with the stamps. And the question also these lawyers are asking, why did you change this form into a black and white PDF form? Why would they change? Rather than uploading the form the way they took the photo. Your picture in black and white? No, they simply changed it. Questions without answers. And if you look on how the defensive side were trying to answer this question, it even opened more questions to ask. So the way I'm seeing Raila Amolo Odinga is optimistic, so positive and jovious as he interacted with his lawyers. We are going to wait and see the outcome on 5th of this month, of course, in Abuja, Monday. So thank you so much. Let us meet in the comment section to have a continuation of this conversation.